Hello, Aziza here on how to knit Mochi lacing. Now, Mochi lacing is a good style for SCA combat because it is a type of lamellar knit that has a lot of flexibility and stretchiness, which is always good when fighting. Allows you to maneuver, twist, and turn. And this style is the most flexible that we have found, that doesn't make you stretch too far or compress too much, and allows for good movement. Now, the first thing you will need when making it is a pair of pliers, lighter, scissors, something hard like maybe an anvil. We use a piece of aluminum, and then plenty of parachute cord. This style takes a lot of parachute cording. And when you're done, hopefully, you come out with a body harness like this. Like that. Later I'll show you how to put it together and put the two sides, but for now, just the basics of how to knit it. Now the first step in making your lamellar rows is deciding how much cord you'll need. And that is about 4 times the amount of whatever length it is. Ignore the paper lies. It's about 4 times. So if you're laid across it, if you're into your torso, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the problem with parachute cord is, it's nice, but it has these little white bits inside that are much looser. And you can't just have those out and about because it'll fray and your suit of armor will deteriorate much faster than you would like. So what you want is this, where you take your lighter and your piece of metal here, you lay them down, and you want to burn the ends. Just get it hot for a couple seconds, take your fingers and wick it. Now, for beginners, it can be good to have a small bowl of water nearby because your fingers are going to get burned and it's a pain in the butt. But just think, next suit of armor, you'll have nice calluses. So just take it and wick it. And what you're trying to do is pull it so the black bit is over top of the little white stuff inside. Take it like that. See, now you can't see any more white. But this is now big and round, and it won't be able to fit through the smaller holes of the lamellar. So what you want to do is you want to heat it up once more. The wind would stop putting out the flame. Heat it up, put it on your sheet of metal here, and press down, and make it flat. You gotta be careful though, because look, see, now it's a bit too wide. And this really comes with practice, knowing how wide versus flat it needs to be. And this is all sounding very perverted, but oh well. There, that's a good one. That's a good tip. Another trick you can do is, it'll be hard to get it through, so take it, put it on your lighter, and really quickly run it on all sides like this, and firm up the areas around it, like so. Now, you only need one side to have a really good tip. The back side here, let me do a nice trimming clip. That was not a nice trimming clip. There we go. The back side only needs to be a little round stub. It's not going anywhere, it's just a good stub will make sure it doesn't go back through the holes, and you don't want that. There. So, now you have your tip and you have your little end. Next step is knitting the lamellar. So, the first step when starting to knit together a lamellar is making sure you have the right side of the plates facing towards you. Now, they may look just, hey, same side as the plates, depending on what type you have. For this brand, there is a front and a back, because as you can see, there are little circles here, here, and there. And for a good attractive suit of armor, you want it to look the same. You don't want there to be nice plate, oh, hey, look, circles. So you always want to make sure you have the same side of the plates facing inward. So you have the nice, glossy, smooth side facing outwards. Now, since Mochi lacing is kind of unique in that you do horizontal and vertical rows at the same time, you're knitting 2 rows at once. And you start 3 plates in, and you do that by holding your plates like so. You take the tip of it, and the butt. Take the butt end, and you pass it like that. And you just kind of hold the back side of your finger. Just hold it there. And you take your other side, tip up through there. Like that. Grab another plate. Make sure the holes are facing backwards or towards you, up, left, sideways. And then knit it. Like that. Now pass it up through the back side. Grab another plate. So far you have that. Get another plate ready at least. Pass it down to the bottom left. Up. Like that. And now here is where you start on the second row down. Take your plate. Pass your cord up through. Oops. So you have it going from there into there. Like that. And now this is where it gets tricky. The trickiest part of lacing this whole thing is having 2 cords past each of those smaller holes on here. I find that a good trick is to, if you can tip it like that, you open the plates up a little bit facing towards you. Oops, dropped my plate. One sec. So when you flip them facing towards you like that, you put it through one hole. And you make sure it's lined up with there. Put it through the second one. So now you have 2 through the left and only 1 passing through the right. But you have to go back because you can't have this cord just hanging out on the front side of your armor. So pass it back through. This is where the pliers come in handy, but I'm stubborn and I'll get it like this. And this is also where flattening out your tip is very useful. And there. Okay, so now you kind of just have this big mess between the plates there. So what you want to do is take it and twist it in whatever direction it needs to go. You just want to try to squish the 2 plates together. So there's no more room between them, like that. Flip around the back side and pull whatever cords need to be pulled to make it work. There we go. So now, on the front side, you can see double cords. And there's nothing else between these 3 that you're seeing on the front side so far. Back to the back side, you kind of have this whole mess of strings. So you gotta get that all sorted out. And there. After tightening up all your strings, it should look like this. Just 3 there, 2 down. Now, the next step is to start adding onto this. So you just take another plate, get it ready, right there. Take your string, pass it down through the bottom left hole. Through there. And up through the big hole on the top, and once again, make sure your circles are facing inward. Pain in the butt to have to go back and redo an entire suit because you have one plate with all the holes facing out in the center. So there, now you're up like this. And this is another annoying part where you have to get it through 2 plates at once, and you can go and try to get it through both plates at once. If you really want to do that, then I'd recommend having pliers on hand. But it's not going, so there. Hope there's enough light out here. Sun's going down. Okay, so once again, you're going to have a whole mess of strings everywhere. So you just want to make sure and find the string on the back that connects to the really long one back there, and that's this one. So pull it tight, snug up this plate so it's even like that. Pull your string out. And you are started on your lamellar. Okay, now your plates are started and it's time to start adding onto them. Adding onto them is much easier than starting out because there's no double looping involved. So, and the pattern is pretty much exactly the same. Just down through there, up through there, through the big hole, take a plate, add a plate on top, making sure the circles are facing towards you. Up to the top there. So it's around the back, up through here, around the back, up through here. And this part goes much quicker. Just keep adding on plates. No more double looping. Okay, so now we're going to learn how to end the row. Ending is a bit different. So first you got to make sure you have plenty of cord. I am a bit too loose here. So you go back and just tighten up all your little cords here. And that gives you a couple more inches. And it doesn't have to be this long. This is however long you need it to be, no matter how many plates it is. So there, go like that. Go down, through there, up through there. And see, I ran out of cord, so I have to start over. I'll find a way to... So you want to take this down through there, up through there. Okay, take another plate, face it towards you, that, make sure it's all looping properly. And this is where it's kind of like the beginning. What you want to do now is loop this cord up, whoa, up through here, the top hole right there. So, and make sure it's all double looped on both sides. This second piece here is always a real pain in the butt. This is where pliers come in handy, just to grab it if you can, if it even helps at all. Hopefully you will have a much easier time with this than me. There we go. So once again, you got to make sure that they're apart there. You're gonna pull them together so there's no room. Then pull on the strings to tighten it up back there. Once you tighten that up, you have your first row of plates done. Get them all in the right order. Get them all to your desired length. This length here can be however short, oh sorry, this length right here can be however short or long you want it to be. Depends on the amount. Really long will give you more flexible, really short will give it more precise, but it won't move around from side to side as much. So now I'm going to show you how to add on your third row, because you kind of have 1.5 rows here. You have one good row, but see the second row, it's all floppy and kind of useless. So how to add on your third row down. And I'm only going to show you a little bit because it's pretty much exactly the same as starting out with new plates, except these ones are already all together. Now I'm going to show you how to add on your third row of plates. Now, it is basically the same as starting out, except the fact that your plates are already all here and you have a predetermined length. So you want to go to your third plate in. You always want to start with the style on the third plate in. And you take it, just put the little butt end out through the top here. And I'm only going to show you the first few steps because really it is exactly the same. Take a step here, go horizontally across, see, looking familiar? Hopefully it is. Remember, make sure your circles are facing towards you. And then you'll just go up here, double knot it, go through here, down bottom left, bottom right, loop the big one on, double knot it here, go bottom left, bottom right, loop, 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 end. And that is just how you go up and down. Okay, the final step to the lacing portion of this is connecting two pieces of pre-knit pieces together. That's a lot of pieces. And You'll use this when you connect like areas for the chest or the upper back to the rest of it. So smaller pieces to these. So what we're going to use is, you should have your one piece, which is whatever here, all floppy bottomed, and have this other piece, the bigger one. And basically what you want to do is make sure you have the back facing towards you still. Put it down like that. Or don't put it down. And you want to put this other one behind it, so you make sure you have the continuing pattern of overlap, 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 overlap. And really, once again, you're just starting like all the others. Start off with the butt end on the upper piece, going like that. Connect across horizontally. Now this is where it changes. What you want to do is you want to line up. Oh, I always forget that step. Put it down through there. Up through. Then line it up. Sorry for the constant mix-up of those steps. So we want to put it up through. And then it pretty much gets the same as everything else you've been doing. You want to come up here and painstakingly double loop it. It's annoying though, because your plates are a lot stiffer. They're not as easy to move around now that you have a couple rows already. So if you want to eventually this should just become a pattern, like knitting. You can do it while watching endless hours of Netflix or various preferred television or movie shows. Oh, the ends are getting tied up, of course. There we are. Where's the end? Oh, this is all very confusing. There we are. Then now that you have these two pieces connected by a huge cord, tighten it up. There we are. Gotta make sure this end piece is pretty tight. There. Okay. Now that all pretty familiar, right? I've got to tighten up a bit more maybe. And there. And then it's pretty much the same as you've been doing. Down through there. This is all, it may seem pretty complicated at first glance or just picking it up and looking at the back of it, but once you get into it, it's just a really simple repeating pattern. Through there, double knot, and just continue your way across till it ends like that. And you end it the way I showed you, and then put it together and you have a suit of lamellar. Oh, and fixing the loose ends down below because they're all floppy. You can just do just a really, really simple whip stitch along the bottom. It's not like anyone's judging. And then when you look at it from the front, it's like that. Okay, so by now, hopefully, after you've paused and worked for a couple days, you will have two pieces of remotely body looking like armor, right? And the next step, is what we find works the best, is you have your front piece being just a little bit smaller than your back piece, just for ease of putting on. And what we do is we take actual lamellar plates and grind them down, and you turn them into little button-like things. And then we take the buttons, loop them around and under the plates like so. So just, it's looping around this string you see here. We just make buttons up and along the sides. And then on the back side, the bigger piece is where we put the elastic cording. You can get this anywhere, just relatively small. If it's bigger, it'll hold it tighter. We actually got this piece, it's a bit too small, but it works. And you get that, and you do the same thing. You just take it and loop it around the cord there. So then you have a back piece that is bigger with the elastic cording, and a front piece with the buttons. And that way it's for ease of putting on. There's no annoying buckles or anything. It gives good movement because when it's all put on, see if I can do this here, one-handed. When it's put on, there's a little gap in between. So as you twist, it can open and close. But since it never opens to huge amounts like that, no heavy rattan stick being swung at 100 miles per hour is going to hit your rib cage and really hurt. So that is what we recommend. And it's also just a good idea to lace it with a bit of leather around the edges. Not only does it make it look better, but it'll make it last a bit longer, keep your edges from getting roughed up. So that has been an informational video on how to knit Mochi lacing. Hope you've enjoyed it and hope you have a nice spiffy looking suit of armor by the end of this video. Have a nice day.